Chinenu, what problem do you want to choose today? Create a problem, a division problem, group division problem.
4,986 divided by 42.
Okay, you can write that on paper and see if you can figure that out on paper. So now look at your thousands. Put a comma after your thousands. So ask yourself your question. Let me hear you. Out of your thousands, what question will you ask?
Out of your thousand, how many 42?
How many groups of 42 can you make out of the 4,000?
None.
None. Okay. So now you consider two categories. That's the 100. No, you can do it on your paper. So, on your paper, what's it? If you are considering two categories, what will you have? That's 49 hundredths, right?
Yes.
So ask yourself,
how many 49 hundredths would I get?
how many groups of 49 hundredths
would I get if I divide by 42?
No, yes. Yeah, so divided by 42 in group division problem, the question you always ask in your mind is, how many groups of whatever the divisor says? So in this case, what is your divisor? 42.
Yes.
So how many groups of 42 can you make out of your 49 hundredths on paper?
One.
One. So write it. So now multiply your, and you wrote your one right on the hundredths, right? Because you're in the 100 category. Now multiply your quotient by your divisor.
41 times 42 equals 42.
Now subtract that from your dividend.
Then 49 minus 42 equals 7.
Okay, so you have 7 hundredths left. Okay, now before we go on paper, let's cross-check on with the sand game material whether you are right or wrong. So the sand game material, this is the problem you are doing on paper, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now use the sand game material to cross-check what you've done on paper.
How many?
Look at your thousands.
4.
How many groups of 42 can you make out of your thousands?
None.
None. So you move your memory marker to the next category, that is 100. And then move your thousands now to the 100. So now you are considering two categories.
Yes.
So together we have 49 hundredths.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So how many groups of 42 can you make out of your 49 hundredths?
1.
So go ahead and do that. 1, which is what you have on your paper, right?
Yeah.
Show me the one on your paper.
1.
Okay. So this is a group of 1. Okay. And then what do you have left as your intermediate remainder on paper? On paper, what do you have?
700.
You have 700. And with the material, show me the remainder.
100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700.
700. So now you are moving your 700s to the 10th category. So go ahead and do that. So what do you have here now? You have 70.
780.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 78 tens. 78 tens. So on paper, move your 8 tens down on paper. So what do you have there on paper as your intermediate remainder?
78 tens.
78 tens. So you ask yourself your group division question again. How many groups of 42 can you make out of 78 tens? Do that on paper before we look at the material. So now do that on paper.
1.
So do it and let's see.
1. 42.
That's multiply
1 times 42.
having 42.
Then 48 minus 42 equals 8 minus 2, 6, 7 minus 4, 3, 36 tens.
36.
Units.
You have 36. Yeah, you are correct. That's 36 tens left.
Yes.
You have 36 tens left. So, do you want to do that with the material, stamping material? Let us see if you are going to get the same thing. So, how many groups can you make? How many groups of 42 can you make out of the tens?
Can only make 1.
You can only make 1. So this is a group, one group of 42 tens, right?
Yes.
How many tens do you have left?
100, 200, 300.
So you have 36 tens
Yes.
left here. And that's what you have on your paper. On your paper, what is the remainder you have there? Intermediate remainder.
36 tens.
36 tens. Okay. Now, continue on your paper. What do you do?
Bring down 6.
6 units. So go ahead and do that. So how many do you have altogether? 366 units. So ask yourself,
How many
groups
groups
of
of 42?
42 can you make out of
366
units? How many groups of 32? How many groups of 42 can you make out of that?
8.
So go ahead and write it. So continue on paper. Lesson.
42 times 8 equals 336. 336.
Show what you are doing. Show the 8. You are multiplying the 8 by 42. And you are getting what? Show it.
336
So go ahead and continue on paper.
minus. So 336 minus 366 minus 336 equals
Right.
6 minus 6,
Mhm.
0. 6 minus 3, 3. 3 minus 3, 0.
So you have how many units left?
30 units.
30 units that you cannot divide. So that is the remainder. So write on the top by the quotient there, remainder 30 that you cannot divide.
R.
Capital letter R. Remainder 30.
30.
Cannot divide. Now, do the same thing with the material. Let us see what you get. Oh, you write your group, the hundreds, right? Then write your one group of 100. And in the tens, how many groups?
100.
One group.
Yes.
Okay. And what do you have left here? 36
Tens.
tens. Okay. So move it to the units. So you ask yourself the group, move the memory marker to the unit to remind you that you're on the unit now. Okay. So ask yourself, how many groups of 42 can you make out of this quantity? So go ahead and begin to make the groups of 42 rather, groups of 42.
One. That's to change 100 for 10. 110, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens, 8 tens, 9 tens, and 10 tens. Two groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 3
So,
groups.
Continue.
1, 2, 3, 4. You have to exchange this 100 by 10.
Exchange it for 10 tens.
Yes. 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens, 8 tens, 9 tens, 10 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to exchange this 100 for 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to exchange this 1, this 10 for 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 4 groups. 1, 2, 5 groups. 1, 2, 6 groups. 1, 2, 7 groups. 1 tens, 2 tens, 3 tens, and 4 tens. So 1, 2. That's all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So divide into.
So you have 8 groups of 42 units.
Yes.
right? And you have how many left that you cannot group?
3.
3 tenths. So let us see what you have on paper. Is it the same thing? Show what you have on paper. Bring it nearer. So these are the 3 tenths you cannot put into groups, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to calculate. Firstly, calculate on paper to see if you've done it correctly or not. You can use this paper to calculate. To do that, you have to multiply the quotient by the divisor. Then you add the remainder of 30 that you cannot put into group. So do that right away and let's see if you did it correctly or not. Do that on paper firstly.
118
118
times multiplied by 42.
which is the divisor. Use your straight edge.
So 8 times 2, 16. So 6 here, carry 1.
You are taking 1/10.
Yes.
Yes, 1/10.
1 times 2, 2.
Plus 1/10.
Plus 1/10, 3.
3/10.
1 times 2, 2.
That's 200.
8 times 4, 32. 2, 3 tenths. 1 times 4, 4 plus 3, 7. 1 times 4, 4. Add them. 6 plus 0, 6.
Now your addition sign should be in front of the second partial product. So write addition sign in front of the, yes. All the time let it be in front of the second partial product. So you can strike out this.
3 plus 2, 5. 2 plus 7, 9. 4. Plus the remainder
Of 30.
30.
That's 30 tenths. 3 tenths.
30. 6 plus 0, 6. 5 plus 3, 8. 9. 4. So 4,986.
Which is the same thing as the dividend you started with.
Yes.
So it's correct. So in the same way, now let's calculate the quantities here. The quantities you have. So now look at what you have here in the hundreds. How many hundreds do you have there? 42 hundreds. So write it. 42 hundreds. 42 hundred. 20 100. So you see that 42 hundreds is the same thing as 4,200. So continue, put your comma here to show that 1,000. Now your tens, how many tens do you have here? 42 tens, one group. So write 42 tens. 42 tens. So 42 tens is the same thing as 420. Now in your units, how many do you have? How many groups of 42 do you have? 8 groups of 42.
Yes.
So you write 42 multiplied by 8 here. So 42.
Two times 8, 16, 6 tenths. 4 times 8, 32. 32 plus 1, 33.
So now add it to your values there. Use your straight. Remember, you have your remainder of 3 tenths. Use your straight edge to rule. Now, put them together.
0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 6, 6. 6 plus 0, 6. 0 plus 2, 2. 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. 2 plus 4, 6. 6 plus 3, 9. Then 4. 4,986.
So the same thing as the dividend you started with. Yeah. So your quotient is correct.